The sea covers over 2/3 of our planet's surface. Yet we know more about space and the universe than we do about our own oceans. Between the states of Connecticut and New York is the Long Island Sound, a naturally protected channel into New York City used for over hundreds of years. The Sound's rich maritime history has played a significant role in the growth of our country. Join us as we explore its unsung residents and its forgotten history. Captain Dennis with Squalus Marine Divers back again here in the Bahamas with Stuart's Cove, diving on a site called the Twin Sisters. The site gets its name from two twin tankers that are about 50 feet apart, which you'll see in a few short seconds. As we start to descend on the shipwreck, you can make them out in the distance. There's a few lines that drape back and forth between the bows of both ships. As I descend, I make out something really interesting on the bottom. He doesn't look very big from up here. But as we get closer, we can see that this Stingray is a little bigger than me. We don't have these guys up in the Long Island Sound, but something tells me that this is as close as I really need to get to this Stingray. As we get a little closer, this guy wants to get a little bit further. Stingrays are related to sharks, as they are both cartilaginous fishes. Their skeletons are made out of cartilage, as opposed to bone, like ours. Stingrays aren't the least bit aggressive, as you can see here. He really doesn't want anything to do with me. But that barb on his tail, he will use it for self-defense if he feels threatened. So we'll let Mr. Stingray go about his business and get back to the Twin Sisters. Here is the enormous bow of the first of two tankers. This tanker sits in shallower water, so I'll be spending most of my time on this ship. Staying on the shallower ship will extend my bottom time, and I also have a leaky O-ring. As we round the top of the bow, we get to the top sides of the ship. You can see the massive lines that were used to secure this ship when it came into port. The two holes in the center of your screen were used to run the anchor chain through the bow of the ship. This was the winch that would hoist the anchor when it was ready to leave port. Due to the clear visibility and the fact that these are artificial shipwrecks, we have the luxury of doing some easy penetration diving. Penetration diving is when you go inside of a ship and go through its inner compartments. These ships were sank on purpose, so before they were sunk, they were cleaned of pollutants, wiring and cables were removed, and these holes were cut so that they would sink rapidly. Some of these holes act as escape hatches, as if a diver gets caught in a compartment. As we make our way across the deck, we come across these small hatchways that go down into the hull of the ship. You can penetrate here as well, if you're a small diver. I, however, am not one of those, so I will stick to the cut holes and the big doorways. As you can see, countless forms of marine life make this their home. This is an artificial reef, and you'll be amazed what you find in these sunken shipwrecks. I'm not familiar with any of these fish, so if you happen to know what any of them are, feel free to write it in the comments. Then there's this guy, living inside this little tiny pipe. Oh, no idea what that is. Here's another opportunity to penetrate the ship. There were some wires and some plates hanging down. We just moved them to the side and made our way slowly through the ship. I am definitely the only person who's been in this ship today, as the visibility is still pristine within the ship. If another diver comes in here and I'm in here, it will be a big cloudy mess, and it will become very difficult to navigate. You have to be very conscious of your surroundings when you do ship penetration. But will you look at that? And now I know where all this blue water came from. I make my way up, out, and around, back, behind, and off the stern. I want to get a look at this ship's wheels. Here we are on the stern of the ship. I swim in for a closer look at the ship's propellers. These amazing propellers once spun and probably traveled all over the world at one point. Exiting the stern, I make my way up along the port side, and you can see there was a hole cut here to help this ship go down faster. This appears to be some kind of identification. The Caribbean reef sharks are all over the neighborhood, but they pretty much hang back right out the edge of your visibility. They really don't want any trouble either. The sharks are just as curious about us as we are about them in the shipwrecks. Now we come up and over the bow of the second of the two tankers. This is the inside bow section of the second tanker. After exiting the bow section, we make our way back towards the center of the ship. I decide to go for a quick stroll down through the cargo section. Now, if these ships were carrying oil, I'd hate to be the person who had to clean out these cargo holds. All of that cloudiness means that there's another diver in the area. This is what I was referring to earlier in the film regarding visibility. If a diver kicks up the silt, this is what you will encounter. As we make our way back to the ascension line, I guess it's safe to say that they're no longer tankers. They're no longer tankers. They're no longer tankers anymore. And nearing the end of our dive, I happen to find, yes, that's right, a bottle. I need more bottles. That's exactly what I need. So I took my bottle and was on my merry way, doing my part to keep the artificial reef clean. Just like to say thank you once more to Stuart's Cove, Stuart Coves. It's really screwing me up with that. But needless to say, thanks so much for checking us out. If you're in the Bahamas, be sure to check out Stuart Cove's dive operation. And we look forward to seeing you next time. Check us out on Facebook, Squalus Marine, and on YouTube, Squalus Marine as well. Thanks so much, and until next time, I'm Captain Dennis.